Well, welcome to our Take 10 with 4-H on team building. I am Cheryl Butterfield, the State 4-H agent for volunteer and leadership development. And on team building today, we have some exciting things I want to share, but I'm just as interested to hear all the cool things y'all have been doing and be able to share that with others as well. Let's get started. 4-H is a youth development program. But a key to remember, and when we are planning any 4-H program, is to ask how. How does this, whatever it is, fill in the blank, develop our youth? So we're going to use that concept as we look at team building, that question. But before we start on team building, I thought I'm going to look at a definition and see what exactly comes up when you Google team building. And it was pretty interesting, and I would say there's lots of different definitions. I did find three that really fit what I think it is, and it also emphasized that fact that it's a big concept. When you say team building, we don't all think exactly the same thing. So, which helped to guide some of the questions I have later when we're planning our team building. Where are we headed, and what are we doing? The first definition that I really liked by Wikipedia of all things, but I thought it captured my thoughts really well. In that team building is a collective term for various types of activities used to enhance social relations and define roles within teams, often involving collaborative tasks. The next one, the action or process of causing a group of people to work together effectively as a team, especially by means of activities and events designed to increase motivation and promote cooperation. And that was just the online dictionary. And the third one I really liked too is that team building is about providing the skills, training, and resources that your people need so that they can work in harmony. So a combination of all those things is what really comes to mind when I'm thinking of team building, is that collaboration, that social relation piece, but it's also providing those skills. And I know there's a lot of great ideas out there. So it was really hard to narrow down, and I've used a lot of different things over the years. But when I got to think about what is it, how do I decide what I'm going to do, these planning questions came to mind that I thought were very useful. And the first one is, where do we start? Is it going to be a planned activity? Is it going to be some free time? Are we just trying to get an assessment of who? Let me let somebody in here. Who's in our group, what kind of skills does that group have? And sometimes the best way to do that is just to let them do something, whether it's just the social part of a meeting, and just watch for a little bit and kind of get an idea what is it that I'm needed. This can also be, that free time can also be a place to have some other activities planned, and after your assessment, make that a decision what you're going to do next. The second is, who is my group? What is their age, their ability, their previous experience? I know there's times you get ready to do something, like, oh, we've done this one before. And sometimes at once makes me want to redirect, but sometimes it really adds another element, because then you can limit those kids. But like, okay, you know this activity, well, you're mute then. You don't get to share fully, so that you don't give away some of the actions that would make it easier. So, and the size of a group, that big piece when you're trying to plan, what is it and what can I do with the number of kids that are in my group? And what do I want to accomplish? We saw all those definitions a minute ago, and team building can really mean a lot of different things. It may just be that social relationship piece. So that looks a little different than some actual building and collaboration on a project, and tweaking what you do based on what you're trying to accomplish can be really useful. Do the kids know each other? Now, this is something I found that I have a tendency to think, well, they probably already know each other, but that establishing as a group that common opportunity to get to know each other in this particular setting is really important. So stopping and saying, do they know each other, or are they complete strangers? Because that kind of affects what you may do a little differently as well. Jumping in and doing something that might cause them to be uncomfortable wouldn't be the direction. If they're all strangers, but they're friends, it might be a fine activity to do. And one that I find very useful, but it's usually maybe a little farther along in the process in a team building, is actually asking the participants to assess themselves. themselves, but found that that's a very useful tool in seeing where they're at. A lot of times they know where they're at, but they don't know what to do with what they know about themselves and how to maybe not barge into a conversation or how to work with others. So it takes a little bit different term on the team building. Okay, so looking at team building, here's some things that I kind of categorized that I hopefully you'll find useful, or just if nothing else, is a great reminder of some of the things that you can do. The first one is group chants. Large groups, we do this a lot of our activities. Some that I even remember as doing as a kid with the Grand Old Duke of York is what we called it. But it was so fun, interactive, and you could change it up. And it just was something, once everybody learned, they enjoyed it. And it got that enthusiasm, let everybody be a part of stuff. A light of alert enthusiastic is the same type of thing, but everybody can join in. So it's really good when you have a group of people and they might not be as willing to jump in and get a part of something. This allows everybody to join in, but be a part of a group and not stand out. So it's a good starting point a lot of times. The name games, we've done those a lot in a lot of our 4-H activities, just to help everybody learn each other's names and get to know each other. We've done the beach ball. And then I'm going on a picnic, where you have to repeat someone else's name until you get it down. And it's kind of this repetition piece. Always adds into, when people know your name and they say your name, you feel more welcome, more better piece of that belonging that we've talked about previously. The get to know you games, or go a little bit deeper. The 2 truths and a lie. Making things up about yourself, telling some things that are true and seeing people can guess. It just really helps. It's fun, but then it also is a different level of learning a lot of times things that you never would have guessed about other participants. And it creates that connection among the group. We probably have seen the personality tests, a variety of different ones out there, but that's another cool thing to do. I was saying the kids may have an idea, but that assessment, those personality tests, lets them look more specifically at their strengths and weaknesses, and maybe how to work within those to develop those weaknesses and become stronger team players. The active games I really like when, especially younger kids, you have a lot of energy and it may be hard to get them to focus on what you're wanting to do. So any kind of fun relay races, which can be done with just about any group size, even if you just have 2 on each team, and just that encouragement, cheering each other on, is a fun piece that gets in there. They feel a part of a group. That's kind of fun. Just your elbow tag, freeze tag, games like that just get energy out and allow everybody to play and get to be a part of something that's bigger. But it all kind of ties back to that social piece of being a part of. The group challenge is one that's maybe a little bit higher level. Once they've got to know each other, you may want to do scavenger hunts, which we've done a lot on Zoom, and we can do those in person. They can look a lot of different ways, where it's an individual like we did on Zoom, or it can be the group where you have planned scavenger hunt. They get in a vehicle with an adult to drive them, and they may go around town, come back for a celebration at the end, and build that team camaraderie as they're trying to figure out the clues. Escape rooms, the escape boxes that are also been created are a fun way just to watch interaction, as well as for them to build. It's kind of that, maybe a kind of think of it as the free time we talked about earlier, where you just watch their interactions and kind of learn, and then you can kind of tweak your other team building activities based on what you're learning from that. But a really cool opportunity in the escape rooms, and a lot of fun. The trust games, and that's one that I probably would wait till the group may have some trust built between, already know each other. It's not something I do right at the beginning, but maybe farther along, because you maybe do the trust falls, the rope courses, and that takes it to a higher level. Really think those are cool things if you can find those facilities in terms of the ropes course. Of course, you do have the liability forms and pieces that go with that, but there's the other trust falls and games that go with, that are on the ground, that are kind of a fun way to build on that level of team unity and team working together. Group task, this is something that we may do earlier to assess, again, like I was talking about, but it's also fun to do once they've built some relationships. And we've seen, building a boat out of paper, and how many pennies can you put on it before it sinks in the water that you're floating in. How well does it hold up, and watching the process? How do they come to that conclusion, and maybe giving them very specific roles on what they can and can't do within their team as they're building that particular boat. But the ultimate group task that we actually use a lot when I'm working with kids is you're planning and you're presenting. You are putting together an event, you're coming up with the design, the themes, you're then have your workshops put together and presenting those. So it's a cool thing to watch it from the beginning to the end. And as there's pieces of that you may say, oh, we need a little work in this area, just by watching them interact and trying to build that skill set. Back to that last definition, building those skills is an important piece. So really focusing on what skill might be lacking as we're getting closer to the actual event or what we're planning. Those are just a few groupings of ideas. Like I said, I know there's a ton out there, but I would love to hear from you